Here to give out the Cover 3 awards, the host of the Cover 3 podcast, Chip Patterson himself. Let's take it back, Chip. Which game are you awarding best game this season?
I promise this is the only time I'm bending the rules, but I got a three-way tie, Sherry. And this is the reason why I think it works out, because it was the final Saturday of the regular season. It was 3 games, rivalry weekend, and they all was one after the other. First, Michigan topples Ohio State. They're in the noon slate. Then in the SEC on CBS Game of the Week, we have one of the best Iron Bowls ever as Bryce Young leads the Crimson Tide 97 yards down the field. They end up winning in extra periods to be able to keep those national title hopes alive. And then the primetime showdown, Oklahoma State beating Oklahoma in Bedlam. That game 37-33, coming down to Oklahoma State needing to stop right at the end of the game. There was significance, there was rivalry, and there was just so much that went into that day at the end of an amazing regular season that I had to group them all together, because as a college football fan, and yes, even doing this for this long, I still have a great fandom of the sport. The ride of that last Saturday in November had to be special and had to be crystallized with an award.
All 3 of those definitely worthy of the award. And it's crazy to think all the way back August, September. But Chip, there are a few standouts and there's plenty to choose from. Who is taking home the coveted award of best play this season for you?
Let's go back to that Kansas-Texas thriller. You know, we're sitting there in overtime. This game has been absolutely bonkers. We're wondering whether or not Texas is going to get knocked off by Lance Leipold's Kansas team. And sure enough, who is it but walk-on Jared Casey scoring the game-winning touchdown. This score is not only fantastic because it led to the 57-56 win for Kansas over Texas, but he also turned it into an Applebee's deal thanks to name, image, and likeness. We had the viral video of his parents seeing the 2-point conversion and saying, "Is that Jared?" "Yes, that's Jared," and getting to celebrate it. Everything that went into it, the game itself and the aftermath, one of my favorite plays, not just from this season, but in recent college football history.
Yeah, you just gave me goosebumps rethinking about that one. And KU finishing the season 2-10, so that was a huge win for their program. But as serious business that college football is, there were some moments, Chip, this year that you either laughed, you looked at the person you're watching the game with, and you couldn't believe it. What moment stands out to you most?
It stands out to me because I was here on CBS Sports HQ, you know, pregame, halftime, SEC on CBS, postgame, and it was on CBS where we got to see Lane Kiffin provide an all-timer for us.
Here we go. Get your popcorn ready.
Well, what's the big thing?
Whoa.
Get your popcorn ready with the toss. Slightly disrespectful to our friend and colleague, Jamie Erdahl, of course, but it was hilarious because of what happens. Lane Kiffin comes out with a get your popcorn ready, a headphone toss, and what's the score at halftime of this game? Alabama 28, Ole Miss nothing. And here we go. Big Al found himself some popcorn just to be able to rub some salt in that wound for Ole Miss fans. And I love what Lane Kiffin said. After the game, he went back to the sideline, he put on the headset, and he talked to his assistant coaches, and he said, "Guys, I might have just made a big mistake. I need y'all to score some points for me." And they were not able to get them. So get your popcorn ready. And again, like our story from Kansas, Texas, the story that followed has really made it linger. I loved it. Lane Kiffin provided us, you know, the golf ball on the field in Tennessee. You know, there's so much throughout the year, but get your popcorn ready was probably my favorite.
Good, exactly. Good on Jamie, but Big Al in that popcorn costume, for sure, the pettiness level, I'm here for it. Now, the 2021 season just ended, so naturally, we're going to look ahead. Who is your way too early pick to win the 2023 College Football National Championship?
I am always fearful of an angry Alabama, and 2-1 is not a lot of value here. But Bryce Young back, Will Anderson back. Those young wide receivers that were not able to step up in a big moment, that will fuel the fire of the offseason and the preparation for next year. There's just so much youth on this team, and it really resonated with me hearing Kirby Smart talk about this Alabama roster, where of course he's going to be showering Nick Saban with praises after he's won the game, but I do think that Kirby's onto something where he said this has been one of Nick Saban's best coaching jobs with all of the youth on this team, with the injuries that they've taken on, and then to be able to be ultimately in a position where in the second half you are driving with a chance to score and get a 2-point conversion to be able to tie the national championship game. I think so much of that group is going to learn from that experience and come back with a chip on their shoulder. Angry Alabama came back in 2020 with a vengeance after watching LSU celebrate for about 9 months in front of their faces. And I think that after Georgia has won the national championship, we will see Alabama try to come reclaim the throne with all kinds of Bryce Young-led fury. Boring pick, but I ain't standing in the way of a motivated Crimson Tide team.
Yeah, I mean, bulletin board material and, all those Sabanisms will come out as we look forward to that new season. Chip Patterson giving out all the awards. We appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.